Hi there, Tasha from Stardust Gold Crochet. This week's Saturday stitch tutorial is the bead stitch. It's a really great stitch. It's kind of like the pineapple stitch or a puff stitch. It can be turned around, used in a vertical or horizontal. It does have a right and a wrong side, so it's best to get some stitch markers so you can do that. I'm using Lion Brand's Heartland and also a J-hook. So to start, you go ahead and create a slip knot, and then this stitch you can chain any number of chains, even number of chains. So here I'm chaining 10, and it's a really easy stitch to learn. So go ahead and chain your 10. We're going to start in the second chain from the hook, so count down 1, 2, and we're going to do a row of single crochet. You can do a foundation row as well, it's up to you. So go ahead and make your chains and then we'll come back. Okay, so now we're going to get started on row 2. So I recommend marking the first side because this is your wrong side. So go ahead and mark it with a stitch marker. And then for row 2, we're going to chain 3. Then you're going to turn your work, and we're going to skip the very first single crochet and work a double crochet into the second stitch. And double crochet, you yarn over, pull through 2 until you only have 1 loop left on your hook. Then here's where the stitch happens. We're going to yarn over, insert the hook into the space, yarn over and pull up a loop. You do that 3 times. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop. That's number 2. And then 1 more time, and that creates the full stitch. Then you should have 7 loops on your hook. So I kind of pull away the one on the very end. You're going to yarn over, pull through 6 of them, and then you yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops on your hook. Just like that. And then you're going to skip 1 stitch and repeat that pattern. Skip 1, double crochet into the next, and then you create the special stitch, and it's actually called a slanting cluster. So you yarn over, pull up a loop 3 times into the space, yarn over and pull through 6, then yarn over and pull through the last 2 on your hook. Skip 1 and then double crochet, and that repeats to the very end. And this kind of reminds me of the pineapple puff stitch just a little bit. There's a lot of stitches out there that are similar to this, including the pineapple stitch. So here we're coming up at the end, and go ahead and finish out those last 2 stitches by skipping 1, working the double crochet into the very last stitch. And then you're going to yarn over and then complete your last special stitch, which is the slanting cluster stitch. And then we're going to do 1 last double crochet into the chain 1. So if you want to mark that chain 1 when you first work it, it might be a good idea too, because sometimes it's hard to find it when you work your pattern again. So go into that chain 1 and do 1 double crochet. So that completes our row 2, and you can see we have all of our little slanting clusters. So for row 3, you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and then we're going to skip the first single crochet or the first double crochet and work a single crochet into the top of the slanted cluster and 1 into the top of the double crochet, and then repeat that across, working a single crochet into each stitch across the row. And when we get to the end, it kind of is a little different too. So go ahead and work into that last stitch, and then we're going to work 1 into the top of the chain 3. So count up 3 from the bottom and then work 1 single crochet into that top chain of the chain 3. You can also mark that with a stitch marker if you want to make it easier and don't lose it. And that's it. That's your repeat pattern, rows 2 and 3. So you keep working row 2 and row 3 all the way up until you get your desired height. This stitch is it's really fun. So now you marked your right side or your wrong side. So there is a wrong and a right side. You could mark those 2 edges too to help you out with your, that's the right side. So you see it looks just a little bit more finished than the wrong side does. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. There's a lot of applications. The links for the written pattern will be down below for my blog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and hit that bell so you can be updated on all future stitch tutorial videos. Happy crocheting!